I don't know how this went so wrong, but it did so quickly. But let's jump into it. The password for Century 10 is the 161st word within the file on the desktop. I log in, I issue print working directory or PWD just to figure out where I'm at. Once I do that, I list it out, and I can see there's only one file, which is word_file.txt. I'm going to use get content on this file. I'm going to take a look at it just to see what I'm working with, and you can see there is a big block of text. So I immediately start thinking, how am I going to chop this up and identify the 161st string of characters or word? So let's use get help on get content and go from there. I jump to the first paragraph and I see there's a collection of objects. That gets me excited. Okay, I'm familiar with that. Now I'm looking at the parameters. I immediately see there's a dash delimiter parameter, and I'm familiar with delimiters. I know how they can be used to break up big chunks of text. So let's go ahead and work with what we got here. So back here, I'm going to use get content on word_file.txt, but I'm going to use the delimiter parameter, and I'm going to use a single quote and then a space and then a single quote. I'm going to send that. As you can see, I now have a nice list, but it still doesn't tell me what the 161st word is. So now I'm going to use get help on select object. So once I'm in here, I kind of skim the first paragraph and I hone in on the second, and I see in there that it says select objects, which we know is the output of get content, objects. You can use first, last, unique, skip, and index parameters. The index parameter jumps out at me. So I go up and I see I can use index and an integer to pick a specific line from the array. And that's what I'm working with here. Get content produces an array of objects, and then select object is how you go in and surgically pick an object from that array. As you can see here, first commandlet, and then I'm piping it all to select object with an index of 161 for the 161st word, right? That's what you would think anyways. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward here a little bit. This was a fundamental misunderstanding of how arrays work in PowerShell and probably other scripting languages. In PowerShell, the index counts the number of unique objects in the array, and the index doesn't start at 1, it starts at 0. So when I said select the 161st character, it was actually selecting the 162nd character. So I was chasing my tail, I went to Google, and I said, how in the world are these arrays put together? And that's when I figured it out. As you can see here, in this paragraph that's highlighted, it says each of these items has an index, which always starts at, sometimes confusingly, 0. So with this new knowledge, I move back into PowerShell. I issue the same string. However, this time I erroneously select index 162 because I can't math. Skipping ahead here, so you don't have to see all my failures. Get content, delimiter, space, piped to select object. And then I'm going to index correctly on the 160th string of characters or word. And with that, this gets you into Century 10.